Hello there, everybody, and today I'm here to talk about something new that has come out for Star Wars, that being Star Wars Visions Season 3. So I have not reviewed Season 1 or 2. I don't know why, but with this video, maybe I'll review Season 1 and 2. I'll just have to make the time for it. So if you don't know about Star Wars Visions, it is stories that are not part of the new canon at all. It is completely separate. It's its own thing. It's just where a bunch of anime creators come together to create a story that probably does take place part of the Star Wars universe, and it's not part of the canon. It's just like a fun story where we can see over the top lightsaber duels or over the top fight scenes, and it's very fun to watch, which each animation style really showing in these stories. So we got 9 episodes this time, and I gotta say they were not disappointing at all. They were actually pretty good. So I'm gonna review all of it, because why not? So let's get started with the Ninth Jedi, the Duel Payback. So the Ninth Jedi is more of like a samurai-like lightsaber duel between the characters. It's where we meet the Ronin again, and we get this one girl who, I think this is her, and they're in a lightsaber duel currently with a Jedi who's on the hunt for them. And this episode's definitely really good. This is probably my favorite of the 9, because I really do like that samurai feel with Star Wars, since George Lucas really did want to use samurai inspirations for when he was doing the lightsaber duels. He took a lot of inspiration from that, and it's really telling. And the lightsaber duel is really just over the top, and I just really like it. It doesn't have to worry about how many lightsabers you need. You can just have as many as you want. But the way the Ronin fights the Jedi, it's really well done. And he even has his little droid thing that the droid gets sliced up, of course, and I was thinking, oh no, but the droid, of course, gets rebuilt later once the 2 Jedi fall off the cliff while battling the Jedi with the blue lightsaber, and they're actually healed through back to water, and they team up with a bunch of Ewoks. I don't know if they're on Endor in this episode, since this does take place outside of it, but it does end with a swift duel between the Jedi, and he gets his chest slashed, and he just dies instantly, and it was like really intense. And they even celebrate just like at the end of Return of the Jedi, and it's really cool. This is definitely the best one. I'd definitely like to see more of the Ronin in Star Wars Visions, hopefully if they do season 4. So yeah, next is the Song of Four Wings. This one takes place, I assume, on Hoth. It's where we get this one girl who's on a mission to rescue a child from the Empire, and we see 2 AT-AT walkers trying to attack her, and she's literally able to turn herself into a X-Wing, and she's able to take out the 2 like AT-ATs with the help of her droid, which I thought his design actually looked really cool. She even has like a little radio thing she uses to listen to music. I thought that was a nice detail. But this one's definitely one of the more short ones of all these, because most of these are like 20 minutes. But this one, I actually really like the style, and I like the atmosphere of Hoth and the sky. It just looks super pretty to look at. Honestly, if this was canon, I'm going to guess it probably would take place after the Battle of Hoth. That's what I thought would look cool. But yeah, this one's definitely a highlight for sure. But the next one is definitely a big one. This one's called The Ninth Jedi, The Child of Hope. I rewatched this episode, but this is about a girl who is on the lookout for her father after she was on a mission to stop a group of smugglers, but she ends up getting lost in space, and she is dragged by a droid, and the 2 team up to go find out the secrets of the Force, and we see some flashbacks of her trying to learn to be a Jedi, but she bumps into a bunch of enemies and she has to fight them, of course. But the droid she's with is mainly helping her a lot, and the fight scenes actually look really good. It shifts animation a lot in this fight scene, and it just looks really pretty. But she does get rescued by a group of Jedi, and it sets up a Ninth Jedi show that I heard they're gonna do that takes place in this story. So I'm really curious what they're gonna do with the Ninth Jedi. There was also a manga which I think took place during the High Republic era. I'd definitely like to check out that. But the Ninth Jedi one, definitely a good one for sure. The next one is called Bounty Hunters. This one's like a really over the top, like, episode where we get this one droid that can turn himself into like a Terminator bot, and they're sent on a mission to save their own necks. But they're forced to work with some shady people, and the one girl in this, I forget her name, but she actually looks really cool. I like her mask and her style. But I think they mainly go up against, I don't know if I'm getting this right, but they go up against a droidka, where they meet this crazy scientist dude who wants to take them out with this droidka that he built himself, and he's using it, and it's just like super just over the top fight scenes, and they even take down the force field to take him down. But of course they get their payment, of course, since this is a bounty hunters one. Honestly, if you do see bounty hunters in Star Wars, you think of Boba Fett, IG-88, or Dengar. But we get completely different characters in this one, and it's a nice change of pace a little bit. This one took a bit for me to get into, but it was definitely a decent one for sure. Next is Yukio's Treasure. This one kind of reminded me of Skeleton Crew a bit, where we see a group of kids trying to find their way to find a lost treasure on Tatooine. I bet a lot of people are getting tired of seeing Tatooine in Star Wars. Honestly, if it fits the story, I'm fine with it. But these two kids are definitely interesting ones for sure. The animation for this one kind of reminded me of like the style in Dragon Ball Z, even though I've not watched that show. But I do like the designs of the kids. They actually look really cool. Like, it has a mixture of what other animes they have and Star Wars, and it just works really well for this one. I don't remember too much what goes on, but we see a bunch of background Tatooine characters, which I thought was really cool. It reminded me of all the background characters we see in like New Hope and the cantina scene. I think we even see the bartender in this episode. I don't know if it's the same one from New Hope. It must be a different one, but I just thought I'd take note of that. But that was the Yukio's Treasure. That one was good. Next is the Lost One. So you're probably thinking it has something to do with the Lost 20 from Star Wars, where a bunch of Jedi Masters leave the Jedi Order. But this one's about a Jedi who helps a group of people who are trying to join the Empire, but they realize the Empire is not really the best people. But she ends up getting captured onto a Star Destroyer executor, and she's forced to fight an old master in this hollow room that looks super beautiful to look at. And we get this wild lightsaber duel, but during all this, the two crew members she meets end up trying to destroy the Star Destroyer, and they manage to shut down some systems in it, but of course the lightsaber duel is cut short in this episode. But we get a bunch of scenes, flashbacks of her with her master who died during battle. But I did like the reference to Master Yoda, so they're taking some inspiration from other Jedi that we know full well. But this episode was definitely one of the better ones for sure, probably one of my favorites. So yeah, check out the Lost Ones for sure. Next is probably the second best one for me. This one's called The Smuggler. It's my favorite for obvious reasons. This one has Emma Myers from Wednesday. She voices the main smuggler girl in this episode, where she's forced to team up with an older lady to rescue a fugitive from the Empire, and we get a bunch of cool speeder chase sequences, and we see the hothead that her character is in this episode for sure. So I probably give this one probably my second favorite, like I said. But Emma Myers joining the Star Wars family is definitely a highlight for sure. But the next two episodes are probably the most wild looking ones. It's kind of like a fever dream if you really think about it. But the next one is called The Birds of the Paradise. This is where we see a Jedi who's in some realm, sort of, and she's forced to fight an Inquisitor looking girl who is like super over the top, and she has like a really scary voice. That's what stood out for me for this episode for sure. And we get, of course, a lightsaber duel. This one's probably the most different for their animation style for sure. So yeah, Birds of Paradise, definitely check out that one. I don't know what I missed for this episode other than we got a bunch of cool visuals for this one. But this one is just like the themes go really well with the two Jedi, and she has to fight against her trauma for the various trials to fight back against the dark side. That's what it really worked about this episode. And she's got a cool lightsaber, of course. Same goes with the Inquisitor. Just like in the Ronin episode, we got this Sith girl who has like a spinning lightsaber. I thought that looked super sick to look at. But I think what it was probably the weirdest one is the last episode. It's called Black. It kind of reminded me of Death Troopers, where we see a bunch of zombie stormtroopers. This one's where a stormtrooper who's wounded. We just hear music in this episode. No lines at all. And we see like the Death Star about to get blown up. So I don't think we see Luke Skywalker in this. But we see just a bunch of visuals of stormtroopers getting brutally killed and looking very zombie-like. But that one was probably the freakiest of them, not in a bad way. This one's probably the shortest of the episodes. But yeah, I really like this one. So that's Star Wars Visions. You definitely go check it out for sure. I'll try to review the other seasons in the future. I'll probably plan to rewatch these episodes to see what my thoughts are on seasons 1 and 2. So definitely check out Visions. And I really hope they do season 4, since anime can really work well with Star Wars. And it's nice to talk about anime on this channel. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. And may the Force be with you always.